Hi guys, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids. I have got the table filled with Dendrochilums here, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. These are primarily smaller growing Dendrochilums. They will work very well on a windowsill or under lights, which is the way I know most of you grow. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about their plant habits and about their culture and things like that. Dendrochilums come from Southeast Asia into the chain of islands in the southeast part of Asia, specifically Borneo, Sumatra, the Philippines, that kind of area. There's over 300 species of these. So needless to say, there are some that are larger than others. One that I won't be showing you here, Dendrochilum magnum, can get, I think, close to 3 feet tall. There may be other very tall members in the genus that I don't know of, but again, these are going to be the smaller ones, which will be easier for you to handle, and they are all pretty easy to grow. We'll start out here with this little guy. This is Dendrochilum formosanum. It has nice green flowers. They're a bright apple green. And there's about a dozen spikes on here in a 3.5 inch pot. These grow in plastic pots primarily because they like moisture as well as good drainage. So you have to keep that in mind when you're growing them. Next here we have, this is the smallest plant of mine. It only has one little flower spike, but still you can see it very easily. Actually, I'll hold this up to you and try to hold it still so you can see it well. This is Dendrochilum javieri. This, along with, this has the same plant habit pretty much as Dendrochilum wendellii. Only wendellii is a reddish brown to orange flower, whereas this is a nice bright yellow. And you can see that it's very small growing. This is about 8 inches tall. I would say it probably will never reach a foot in height. Also, this one here also never gets much more than about 8 inches tall, this formosanum. Getting just a little bit taller. This one is turning into a little bit of a specimen plant here. This is in a 5-inch pot. This is Dendrochilum uncatum. It has very light greenish white flowers. I counted this, and we have 30 spikes on this in a 5-inch pot. And it will probably go at least another year before it needs to be repotted. So it is a very, very prolific grower and flowerer. You can see maybe here, this is growing in a lot of sphagnum moss, so it stays moist. And I think, I have medium bark at the bottom to help give it good drainage, and then I have sphagnum moss on top. And this hangs in the shadier part of the greenhouse here. These need a decent light. I'd say about the same light if you're growing oncidiums. They will take up to Cattleya light, but that's pushing it a little bit. And again, they like to stay moist. I have 2 of them here that are just starting to put out their flower spikes. Here, we'll go with the biggest one first. This is really turning into a specimen plant. This is Dendrochilum bicolosum. And it and the other plant I have here are very similar. It may be the same species, only with different names. But if you look, let's see, where's a good place I can show you? Right here, we have a flower spike just coming out, and the growth is just starting to uncurl into the leaf structure. You have ones that are more like this, and you can see as a new growth comes up, the flower spike comes out. So that's when they bloom. If you see new growth coming, it's not far until it flowers. This is Dendrochilum convaleriforme. It's a mouthful. And it isn't quite as far along as bicolosum. You can see right here the new growths are just starting to come out, and I don't see any that are up far enough to show where the flower spike is coming out of it yet, but it won't be too long until that happens. All of these are fairly small growing. The largest one, bicolosum here, is about 12 to 14 inches tall, which is still not that large of a plant, considering that when the flowers come up, mostly they come out. They don't get much taller than what the plant is, so it makes it very easy to handle. They're very rewarding. The flowers last about 3 weeks, and it's a very nice display when they flower. Now we're going to look a little bit at the type of potting media to use. For a mature plant, you can use something like this. This is medium bark, perlite, and New Zealand sphagnum moss that is cut up to about 1/2 inch pieces. You can do the same thing, only use fine bark and perlite for small plants. What I would recommend you do is to go and put some styrofoam peanuts at the bottom here, like these, and then use the plant, put the plant in, and pot on top of that. If you want to, if you're using a small pot like a 3-inch pot or something like that, you can break these up into smaller pieces. And I like using this. I think it gives what I call perfect drainage. In other words, it keeps, when you water things, that you never have any extra water sitting in the bottom of the pot, because it all drains through and out. And also, if the roots search for air, they can find air at the bottom of the pot. So I think that makes for a really nice way to grow them. So I hope you can get some of these. They're fairly easily obtainable. Some of the species can be a little bit challenging to get, but they are all very, very rewarding. By the way, some of them do have a little bit of a fragrance. Bicolosum here smells kind of like new mown hay. Some like it, some don't. Formosanum actually has a very nice smell. It's not very strong. So they're very rewarding plants. I hope you try a couple of them. If you have any questions, please let me know. And again, this is Wade for Wade's Orchids. I would like to give a shout out to Baltrea, my friend. I hope you are doing very well, dear. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Spread some cheer and be kind. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.